First, to understand Islam, it's really important to understand what the word means. And Islam can be defined as finding peace through submission to God. So an individual is trying to connect to God and find peace through that connection. You know, there's like 6 articles of faith as well as 5 pillars of belief. So the 6 articles of faith are God, the Day of Judgment, belief in the prophets, belief in the divine scriptures, belief in divine destiny, and belief in angels. So that's kind of those 6 main beliefs. And then the 5 pillars are kind of like the actions built on those beliefs. So you have, there's a testification that there's no God but one God, and that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is his last and final messenger. So that's kind of like a core basic belief of Islam. The second one would be prayer. So there's 5 prayers a day that Muslims should perform. It's done in a specific time. So there's one prayer before the sun rises, there's one prayer kind of around noon, one in the early afternoon, one when the sun sets, and one like at night. So they're set in specific times, so it kind of like pulls you out of whatever activity you're doing and kind of helps me like reconnect with God. So that's the second pillar. The third pillar would be fasting. So like I talked about in the month of Ramadan, that's like when it's required for Muslims to fast. Obviously there are exceptions, like if you're sick or something. And then the fourth pillar would be charity. So Muslims are required to give a certain amount of their wealth that they're not using every year. So like right now it's around 2.5%, and that's like wealth you're not using to pay your bills, you're not using to like pay for school. It's like excess that's just on the side. So every year, you have to see how much you had and that you didn't touch for that year, and then you give some of it away to charity. But I don't think it's the same like for all time. I think it has to do with like the value of wealth in that time period and things like that. So it's the scholars that like really know the specifics of how it should be determined will do that calculation for people. And then the fifth one is the pilgrimage to Mecca. So every Muslim is required to do that once in a lifetime if it's possible. So if you have the money and the health and the means to get there, then you should do it. So those are the 5 main pillars of Islam.